Have you found the road to be exhilarating that you're on now to do comedy again, or do you feel it's tough, or both? It's probably both.
A little bit of both. Sitting down and writing is the most painful.
Can't do it.
Painful experience. And I want to do the dishes. I want to bulk cook because, there's that big, winter storm coming up. You got to stick stuff in the freezer, all of these things. And when I stop, if I make a phone call a friend and say, I've got these premises in front of me. I need to sit down. And my friend will say, okay, call me in 15 minutes after you're done. And so I bookend it.
Mm-hmm.
I bookend it because it's the most painful thing to do and the most joyous when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
When you're finished, it's just like, accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some comics like you, I think, you work on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
You write jokes on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you?
All the time.
Yeah.
I've never been, I'm not a cerebral guy. I think about what I am. I really am a mimic. Mm-hmm. I'm a person that goes in the world. My comedy is probably twofold. I'm a person that goes in the world, feels a feeling.
Yeah.
Gets a reaction from that feeling and acts it out. Mm. And that's where a lot of my stuff comes from. And then and then I started to hone that and be like, okay, I can do this person or this person. And then, sometimes naturally the joke will come out. It'll be a natural, funny joke. But at other times I just don't. But just my performance is enough to make people laugh. But then some good jokes, comedians, some of them the best lines I ever had are just comedians going, try this, just give me tags.
Right.
Some of the greatest jokes I've ever done are comedians just giving me throwaway tags. Mm-hmm. And we do that. That's one thing. I don't know if any other business does that, where we give people to each other. People like love to give it, because I had a girl do that last night. She's like, oh my God, you can try this and then go into this part. And sometimes it's a little overbearing, but it's a lot of gold in those hills.
Right.
And there's not anything of like keeping it sacred. It's like they want it out in the world.
You know who does that a lot for me too? Besides you, you've given me a lot of pointers. Yeah, I remember. I remember there's one that the way you teach me is like, it's like where I get the lesson. You're like, Sandy.
Be honest.
Yeah,
be honest.
No, I get the lesson. I never do it again.
Well, give me the one.
Raise your hand if you're anybody have kids. Raise your hand. How many couples? Raise your hands. You said, Sandy, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Just do the bit. Stop doing that.
Yeah, I hate it when comics do that. Again, there's workout shows.
Yeah.
And then there's shows that are big pack shows, and you got to deliver.
Yeah.
And so Sandy will go out and she's like, raise your hand if you wear a belt. Does anybody here have... But then she'll have a great joke about a belt. Yeah. Just get into the belt joke. Stop looking for approval, because they don't even know. They're scared. They're half 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
You can't rely on them.
That's true.
So once I do that, now do you do that last? Don't ask for anything approval of the audience. You're the captain. Right. It's just your ship. Right. You take it over. You fucking tell them what to do.
Yeah. And that I'm getting there, but you're more seasoned than me.
Yeah.
It's such a good example. And you know who else writes me an email? Do you know Jeff Wayne?
I remember.
He writes me a full email with all this gold for free. All this gold with, the gypsy mother, Jewish father. You got this here, you got that there with the kids, this, that. It's tremendous.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. He's in this movie that I'm doing that Brad Slate wrote called The Bitter Truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you saw the whatchamacallit?
Poster?
Yeah, the poster. Production.
Plug fest.
Yeah, thanks. And that's it. I'm done with the plugging. But they're 2 terrific guys that I'm working with. I'm really happy to be
The Bitter
here.
Truth. Oh, that's good. We usually plug at the end, but I like this.
Okay.
The Bitter Truth.
I didn't want to forget.
We'll talk about it at the end, but I like that.
Thank you.
So, but, let me ask you this, then I'm going to remind you something.
Okay. Yeah.
When you work with me,
yeah,
can it be challenging?
come back here, Jamie.
Be honest.
Well, yes and no. Okay.
Mhm.
Honestly, yes and no.
Be honest.
Okay. Because of what I explained to you before, my thought process, I know that you have demands on you more than I could even imagine.
ton.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned, like, you need your space before you go on. And I need to have the table ready and all that stuff ready to start making that extra dough. You have the best work ethic. You and Craig, you have the best work ethic because, I remember somebody tell me it's the pennies and the nickels that count.
Mm-hmm.
The pennies and the nickels.
Mm-hmm.
But to sell your merchandise and have it ready, fail to plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
sometimes that was not an answer.
yeah.
The answer is because you got into the fire real quick.
Yeah, I did.
And
I learned pretty quick.
You know what I love about her is that you do not buckle. Now, here's what I had a great acting teacher by the name of D.W. Brown. Okay. And he said, "What is a hero on screen?" And I'll never forget this, and this is like a core memory. He said, Meryl Streep, and this is Fred Skepsey, shout out, who I actually was at a barbecue with a few weeks ago, the director of this movie. And I didn't tell him this time, so stupid. He directed Cry in the Dark. I think that was called. I'm getting senior moms. And it was Meryl Streep, and I believe she won Best Actress. And it's the famous line of, "A dingo ate my baby." Remember Dingo Ate My Baby? Do you remember that movie? I can't believe it was in 83. And he said the hero, why Meryl Streep is one of the greatest heroine moments in all of history of cinema, is because she's feeling the worst pain. What's the worst pain on earth? You could say a mother's loss of a baby.
Yeah.
A child, your mother's parents, you never have to bury a child, let alone a baby. And whatever she was going through, she still had to get to safety, and she had to get help. And she's going and crying. And he said, that's a warrior. It's a warrior princess, a warrior woman. And she is strong. So the audience is like, oh my God, get to your goal. But this is just going through the worst thing ever. And he said, that is why we love. That's a hero moment. Not like all Marvel and stuff. That's a real hero. And that always stuck with me, and I believe that you're like that, because we'll get in some hot moments, a lot of crazy situations, and like what this happens to me on set, or on sets and award shows, all types of shit has happened to me. And for me, I don't give a fuck what happens, as long as I end up on your screen, it's good. Now, obviously, it has to be within legal and moral bounds,
right.
But being in a movie is more important than my feelings.
Right.
So I've had a lot of crazy shit happen to me, and I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I was in a movie. And you are like that. You are like, it's tough, but you fucking feel it. I mean, you've cried, and you're still like, cash your Venmo. And like, you go through it. And that's why I love working with you, because the new world cries, and they have their feelings, and they can't continue. Well, the world doesn't stop because you're upset. And you are like that character.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? But do you agree with me? It's insane. Everyone's soft.
Yeah.
And so but that will make you stronger. We did a club. I'm not going to name it. It's a great room. And I've been around this club for a long time. And Sandy got a really good lesson. This is a great lesson. I know. Well, you were up all night. I think you were probably obsessing, because I do that, and you didn't get enough sleep. And it was packed. It's Saturday, first show, packed in a sunshine state. I'm not gonna say the.
But I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah, and Sandy's a perfect representative for her to go out. I mean, doesn't she look like she could perform in a sunny state? And she's all dolled up. She's got the radar jokes ready to go. But she decides that she's going to go out because she had a couple of ideas during the day. And she's going to fucking try these ideas to a sold out crowd of like 300 people early. on a Saturday, the hot show. And she went out and did a couple of things, and birds are like, it's fucking winds blowing through these things. And then you were like, damn, that didn't really work. And then you hit him with a couple, where are you from, man? What do you do? When you doubled down, didn't really work. So like the first 4 minutes, she was thrown for a loop. Then she went into her act, had a great set.
Yeah.
So you tried something.
Yeah.
The person who owns the club, I love him, but he's like, hey, he's like, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you don't fucking try new material on the fucking 7 o'clock show.
It was a lesson.
And she was so...
I wanted to grow so badly.
Yes.
It was because to me, it's like, if I don't do one new joke, at least one new joke, then why perform?
Exactly. I got to do that. I do way too many of my old jokes sometimes. I don't want to do them all. That's so good. That's such a good ethic.
Yeah.
I feel like a fraud because you just said that to me.
No, it's okay.
But it's hard to come up with stuff. But I like to be in the moment and see what happens. But this guy let her say, hey, we got another show. Fucking get it together.
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, get 10 minutes.
Get it together.
I did 12.
Yeah, you did 12. She did. She went 2 over, and he's like, don't fucking try new stuff on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And Sandy was very hurt. And I had to take her, and I said, Sandy, this is his club. We're fresh out of the gate here. COVID, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's packed. And I go, if you're going to try new stuff, kill them with the hits.
Yeah.
Pepper it in.
Just like one joke.
Yeah, pepper it in.
I did too many.
And then, but then you did, and then you had killer sets the rest of the weekend. But I remember that lesson hit you.
Yeah, it did.
But a lot of people would fucking claim that, something happened. And like, they would claim that was a crime.
Do you remember the lesson that you got?
See now what we're doing? Passive aggressive Sandy will come in, and she feels I'm honing too much on this.
Yeah.
We're just talking. This is
I
know.
No, I
But
know.
go ahead.
That was just a joke.
Tell me the lesson.
No,
I get
just
lots
a
of
joke.
lessons. Jesus Christ.
I
get lots of lessons.
Yeah.
I want to tell you this because I want people to know how great you are.
Oh, thank you.
You also have great opinions on things, but are you scared to share them?